winners of the first Ultimate Challenge. And the winning team of all the teams that were participating was Mission Slim Possible. Now all of them couldn't be here. Lois is not going to. So anyone from Mission Slim Possible, who are you? Anyone here? Just mom? Okay, well, you're going to. While she is up here, she is the second place winner of the Ultimate Challenge, or loser, I should say. You're the second place loser of the Ultimate Challenge, so you're responsible to get all your team their awards. Yeah. Okay, Lois Brooks is a first place winner. She lost 55.1 pounds, 27.8%. So this is Lois's picture here, before and after. That picture doesn't even do her justice. So, Linda Reale, second place. She lost a total of 34 pounds, 18.3. Third place winner, or loser, is Susan Scanlon. I know I saw Susan there. It's Susan Scanlon. Did you know that you were the third place loser? She's the third place loser. 0.8%, and she lost 15 before that, so Susan did amazing. This is for you. Congratulations. You did awesome. Sorry for just crushing your foot there. Okay, here are the rest of the awards. So that was from the Ultimate Challenge one. You can take that to your friends and teammates there. Now, as you know, we kicked off the Ultimate Challenge too. If anyone needs to weigh in or anything like that, we can do so afterwards. Tonight we're talking about goals, and goals are important. I'm a horrible speaker. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I wrote notes, and I'm going to read off my notes a lot, and just accept that. I'm sorry. Oh yes. If you guys need pens, does everyone have a pen? If you need pens, we can give you guys pens. And if you need something to write on, I apologize, we don't have tables, but we've got magazines and folders and everything. So if you, anyone need pens? Is that you? Pen. Anyone else need a pen? Yeah, I need a pen. Anyone need a magazine? Okay. Magazine? On the back of your sheets, if you guys want to take notes or whatever, you can do that, but we'll get to these sheets at the end here. Talking about goals. If you don't set a goal, how will you know where you're going, and how will you know when you get there? So goals are super important. Rather than just saying, okay, I'm gonna do a workout program, and I'm gonna start working out. How easy is it to say, you know, all right, I've started working out, now I'm good, now what, you know? So it's so important to set a goal so that you know where you're going and that you know when you get there. Setting goals keeps you focused on what you want to achieve. It drives your motivation. I'm going to read an excerpt from an ebook that will be available to you guys soon, Real Solutions for Healthy Living. I'm going to be reading a little portion of that so you'll get a taste of it. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That can be basically paraphrased to say, what you think about, you bring about. So our mind controls a lot of, you know, where we're going and how our life pretty much plays out. If we're constantly thinking negative, judgmental, or discouraging thoughts, then we are going to be negative, judgmental, and discouraging people. This not only applies to our attitude in life, but this is also a major contributor to the success of achieving your fitness goals. Exercising and eating right is more of a mental challenge than anything. 1 Peter 1:13 tells us to prepare our minds for action and to be self-controlled. This means that before you even begin, mentally prepare yourself for the challenge. Know and believe that you can succeed, and decide that you will succeed. One of my favorite quotes is, one of the most powerful things you can do each day is to choose or to decide. So you need to wake up every day and decide that it's going to be a good day. Decide that you're going to do this and you're going to do it well and that you're going to give it all you got. If you go into a new exercise program thinking, I know this isn't going to work because it's never worked before, then I'd agree with you. It's not going to work. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over. I say that all the time. but it's true. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Going into something with the attitude that you will be unsuccessful is setting the tone right from the start of being unsuccessful. No matter how many negative thoughts are running through your head, you've got to learn to discipline your mind and turn it into something positive. Set a realistic goal. You want to speak it, write it. Think about that goal. I will succeed. I will not give up. I will not give in. I will do what it takes, and I will give thanks for every trial in my path, because I know that it will only make me stronger in the end. Now, I started working with Paul. Many of you guys know Paul Clausen. This is Paul right here. He's lost a total of, I think, 132 pounds right now since July 19th. But one of the first things he said when we started working out is, I will do what it takes. And he did. He did not stop. Every time we started working out, every time it got hard, he's like, I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to do what it takes. And he did. So that's one of the most important things, is deciding that you have that goal, and deciding that you're going to go for it and just going for it and not stopping. When I started working out and not seeing results immediately, I'll tell you, I was frustrated. There were so many nights where I would just sit there and say, this is stupid, and I just want to quit, and I was sick of eating eggs at first. Now I love them. I could eat them all the time. But at first I didn't. I would trick myself into loving what I was doing until it became natural and true. I wouldn't allow myself to complain about what I was doing. Ephesians 2:14 says, do everything without arguing or complaining. That was hard for me. That's very hard for me. I still struggle with that. I would speak out loud, so I probably sounded and looked pretty stupid sometimes, but I would speak out loud positive things, and I'd sit there and say, I love this food, even if I didn't love the food, and I can't wait to go to the gym, and working out makes me feel so good. And, at first I probably was lying, but all in all, your attitude and your mind will affect the results you get when it comes down to it. And when it comes to working out and to losing weight, attaining your fitness goals, your attitude is going to play a huge part in that, and it will be reflected in your life. Embrace the moment. Don't take this life for granted. You've only got one life to live, so why waste time worrying, being negative? Your attitude is contagious, so I challenge you to think positively, encourage others, encourage your team, and just go into this thing full force knowing that you can do it. When we're setting goals, it's important to set goals like we said, but you want to set SMART goals. SMART can be an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely or tangible goals. It's important not to just set those general broad goals, but to set specific goals, to set goals that you can say, okay, this is exactly where I'm going, and when I get there, I know when I get to my goal because it's specific. Set a goal with purpose and be specific with the little details. Set measurable goals. How will you measure your goals? Will it be in belt loops? I know many people don't like the scale because scales do fluctuate, as many of you have probably already noticed. My weight fluctuates like 7 pounds a day, so it can be frustrating, discouraging. But that's not the only way to measure your goals. If you're looking to lose weight or lose inches, go for the inches, go for the belt loops, see how your clothes are fitting. But decide how you are going to measure your goal and actually do it. Take those measurements. We did all the measurements in the beginning. Now it's important to keep going with that, and every month at least, do your measurements, do your pictures. As hard as it is to do pictures, it's important to do pictures, because then you can look at the pictures and say, okay, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, but I can physically see, looking at these pictures, a difference in my body and a difference, in your mindset, everything. Attainable goals. You want to set goals that are attainable, goals that you can actually achieve. It's not realistic to say, I want to weigh 80 pounds. That's not, a healthy goal. 0% body fat. You've got to have fat on your body. 0% body fat's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you that right now. So setting goals that are attainable to you. Look at where you're at right now. Don't say 2 weeks down the road, I want to lose 52 pounds, because that's pretty much unrealistic, unattainable. So the next one in the acronym is realistic. You want those realistic goals. Choose goals that are possible for you. Ideally, a healthy weight loss each week is 1 to 2 pounds a week. So based off of that, you can look at your goals and you can say, okay, in this month, how much weight is a healthy, realistic goal for me to lose. So you don't want to say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 1 week. It's not going to happen. Again, 1 to 2 pounds is an ideal weight loss. At first, when you first start working out, you might lose more, you might lose less. Everybody's body is different. And that's important to remember too. It's important to remember not to compare yourself, especially when you're setting goals, not to compare yourself to what other people have done and to what other people, are doing and the results that they've gotten. It's important to start learning your body, to learn yourself, to know what you're doing. If you're sedentary right now, a good goal for you to start might be, walking, 3 days a week, even if you're doing it for 15 minutes, but doing more than you're doing now is important. You want to set timely and tangible goals. Timely goals, again, goals that are realistic for the time frame. So you want to set reasonable amounts of time, not just saying, I'll do this when I do it, but set that time frame that you want to go for, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's 1 month, say in 1 month I want to lose 8 pounds, and shoot for that and just really strive for that. Setting unrealistic goals sets you up for discouragement and disappointment. When you actually set goals that you can reach and that are attainable, as you reach those goals, as you get to that point, it gives you motivation, it gives you that drive to keep on going. And that's important, because when you see results, that's where your motivation comes from. If you're not seeing results, if you're not reaching your goals, you're going to get discouraged really easy and just be like, all right, I'm done with that. So we don't want to do that. We want to set attainable goals. Attaining your goals and seeing results boosts motivation, energy, and drive. So start off small and master these goals. They can be little goals. If any of you did the first challenge we did, the book by I Forgot, talking about small steps. Just picking a small step, a small goal each week, and mastering that, working on it until you master it. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to make things a habit. I posted that on Facebook. I don't even know when, but just keep that in mind. And it's going to be hard at first. The first week's going to be tough. The second week's going to be tough, but it's going to get a little bit easier. Then you're going to create these habits, and it's going to be a lifestyle change rather than just another workout program where you're losing weight. And you want to make this a healthy lifestyle, not just, all right, I'm going to crash diet and I'm going to lose 50 pounds and then I'll go back to the way I was living. Because obviously if you go back to the way you were living, we're going to get stuck in the same situation that we're in right now. So when you're setting your goals, you want to set yourself up for success. That's so, so important. Writing down your goals, and write it again and again and again and again. And then with all those goals that you've written, you want to put them places that you're going to see daily. Putting it on your steering wheel, so when you get in the car, you see it. When you go to open the fridge, you see your goal. When you go to look in the mirror, you see your goal. You want to write down your goal, and you want to post it everywhere so that you can see it, so that you're constantly reminded of your goal. When you reach in the fridge and you just want that, whatever your weakness is, the peanut butter, the chocolate cake, the ice cream, whatever it is, as you're reaching for that, you're going to be looking at that goal. Sometimes I even encourage people to put a picture of themselves on the fridge, either where they were and where they want to be, or where they are now, and keeping that goal in mind of where they want to be. So it's important to write it down, post it everywhere, keep it in sight. Not how they say out of sight, out of mind. Same thing with your goals. If you don't think about it, if you don't write it down, if you don't look at it, it's easy to forget it. Let everyone know about your goals, your family, your friends, the people that you're around daily, your coworkers. That's super important, because a lot of times people won't intentionally do it, but your own family, your kids, your coworkers, they can kind of sabotage your goals by saying, hey, just eat this, just eat that. And how many times do you go to a party and everyone's like, it's just one bite? How many times do you hear that? One bite's not going to hurt you. But that bite, that one bite alone might not hurt you, but then the other bite you take, and the other bite you take, and the other bite you take, it all builds up. So letting people know about your goals, let everyone know about your goals, and sincerely ask for help. Just say, look, I'm shooting for these goals. This is what I want to do. I know, we might not see eye to eye here, but it's important to me. So, please respect my goals, respect, what I'm trying to do, and just help me out here. So a lot of people, might be giving you a hard time at first, especially if you go somewhere taking your own food rather than eating the classic pizza and hot dogs that that get offered at a lot of places. They might look at you kind of funny, but it's important to let people know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then just to ask for help and ask for support. When you reach your goals, rewarding yourself is important. You want to reward yourself for the goals that you attain. When you get to those goals, celebrate it. You've worked hard, you got a goal, celebrate it. You know, you earn the right to celebrate that goal, but don't celebrate with food. Find food. That's what we do. Our society, our culture has taught us that when we celebrate, we go all out with the food. We go right to food. So plan ahead before you even attain your goals. Think of reward systems that don't involve food. You know, maybe it's going on a trip with, you know, your friends or your loved ones, or, you know, going ice skating, doing something that you love to do, and just rewarding yourself with things other than food. Creating a whole list, and that's even important for when you're going into this, and you know you're trying to change your ways from a non-healthy lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle. Having a plan of non-food activities, so when you get those cravings, it's good to have that backup plan. Say, okay, you know, I really want to eat that pizza right now, but I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start cutting the grass, or I'm going to do, you know, have that list of non-food activities. You can use that as your reward system. You can use that, you know, for your backup plan for when you just want to eat. Planning ahead is so important with your food, with everything, but especially with your goals. Plan ahead specifically how you plan to reach your goals. That's so important. If you just say, I have a goal here, that's great. That's a great start, but you got to take it to the next step, saying, how are you going to reach your goals? What are you going to do? What steps do you specifically need to take to reach those goals? So if your goal is to lose, you know, 8 pounds in a month, what is your lifestyle like now, and how are you going to change that so that you're going to lose those 8 pounds a month? So are you going to go to the gym 3 days a week? Are you going to aim to burn 500 calories each workout that you do? Set those specific goals and set them ahead of time, and don't let yourself stray from them. It's easy to kind of let yourself say, all right, well, I'm tired today, but I'll get it tomorrow. And that's where your teams come in. Let your teams know your goals. Let your teams know what you're doing, what you're striving to do. Let your family members know, so that they can keep you accountable. Because there are going to be times, I promise you, there will be times when you are tired, when you don't want to do it, when you just want to kind of give up, you just want to crash for the night, and yeah, you know, I had a really long day. There's tons of excuses, and I will give you this, a lot of the excuses we have are legit excuses, but they're still excuses. So if we're going for a goal, we need to keep our goal in mind, not let the excuses get in our way, and plan ahead the specific steps we're going to take. Schedule it into your calendar, schedule it into your day, and those appointments can't be changed. Thinking ahead, again with that, you know, thinking ahead, what barriers, what obstacles can get in your way, what kind of things are you going to come across that are going to make you stumble? Do you have, you know, at summertime, there's a lot of cookouts, there's a lot of weddings, there's a lot of parties, there's a lot of get-togethers, there's a lot of different things and obstacles, there's a lot of vacations. Plan ahead. Think about those barriers ahead of time, so that when you get there, you've already got your plan of action. You already know what you're going to do. You know, you don't have to not have a social life and not eat out, but just making those better choices, planning ahead. Say, okay, you know, if you know you're going to this restaurant, look at the menu ahead of time, so that when you get there, you know what food options they have. Maybe if they don't have any healthy options, you can say, hey, why don't we go to this restaurant instead? So that you don't get stuck in these situations where you're kind of out of luck and you're like, man, I have nothing to eat, I'll just eat this foot-long hot dog. So you want to have those outs, those backup plans, no matter where you're going, what you're doing, just planning ahead. Motivation and reasoning is really important when it comes to goals. So stop and think about why you're setting the goals that you're setting. Really think about it. Don't just write down goals just to write down goals. Like, don't force it. So really think about why you want to do what you want to do, why you want to go for the goals that you want to go for. Is it, what is your driving force behind that goal? My driving force, my motivation stems from 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20, where it says, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You were bought at a price. You are not your own. God loaned me this body. He gave me a job to do with it. He's given me specific passions, specific abilities and desires and gifts to share with others, and to do the work that He wants me to do. If I don't take care of my body, then there's no way that I can use the body and use the gifts, use the passions and the desires that He's given to me to my fullest potential. So I know Ephesians 2:10 says, I'm called to be a part of His work, which is a part of His work team, His crew. We are God's crew. We're His work crew. So we should take care of the tools that we're given, which are our bodies, and do the best work that we can possibly do with the bodies that we're given. be the most effective, the most efficient work team that we can be. So that's my driving force, that's my motivation. So find your motivation, your driving force. Keep it in front of you, keep that driving force, keep that motivation, keep that goal in front of you, in sight. Write it in your journal. If you're keeping your food journals, if you're keeping, your exercise logs, write it in your journal. Keep it at your desk, keep it on your mirror, keep it in your car, keep it where you can see it. Think about it and know it, because in times of struggle, which we will have plenty of, in times of struggle and discouragement will come about, and if you keep that motivation and that goal in front of you and don't lose sight of it, you will overcome the barriers, the temptations, the struggles, because 1 Corinthians 10:13 says that God will never give you more than you can handle. He's not going to give you more temptation than you can bear. So just keeping that goal in front of you, setting that goal, seeing that goal, writing that goal, striving for that goal, and not giving up. Deciding that ahead of time, knowing what your goal is, and just saying, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it all I got, and I'm just going to go for it. And know that you are not alone, because every person in this room, we all have goals. We all have, something that we're working for, something that we're striving for. And we are a team. We're going to struggle, but we've got each other to pick each other up and to say, hey, I know you're struggling right now, and I know it's hard, but I got your back. I'm right here struggling with you. And it's so much easier going through life when you know you've got people with you, when you know you've got people by your side saying, I'm right there with you. It's not going to be easy, but it'll always be worth it. So set that goal, go for it, never give up. In front of you, what we've handed out, you have these goal-setting worksheets. Another one of my favorite quotes, if you plan to fail, or if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So true. So planning is so important. Here you've got a little worksheet that we're all going to spend some time doing, and I really want you to think about these. So first you're going to list